All right, let's take just a moment to explore the book Monstrous by Sarah Meyer. This was one of my free choice options, and this is about a girl who is adopted and the strife and emotional turmoil that she goes through, not only dealing with being a person of Asian descent in a largely all-white community, but also dealing with the idea that she doesn't fit the sexual norms of other people. She ends up realizing that she is gay, and she might also be questioning her gender by the end of the book. Let's see. So she's adopted from South Korea, and her name is Sarah. This is a memoir, by the way. This is a graphic memoir. She loves manga and anime, and she has this burgeoning realization of herself. What relationships does she want? What's her gender expression? She's just kind of at the tip of the iceberg. One thing I do want to point out is how horrific this book cover is. It scares me to death. I really don't like looking at it. When I had the book in my house, I had a piece of paper covering it because the monsters that she draws in this book are insane. I can connect this book to the book Smile by Raina Telgemeier. That's also a graphic novel. Both characters in these books go to see Little Mermaid in theaters, and they describe how it affects them. Raina is older when she sees Little Mermaid, and Sarah is younger. And they both have different experiences with it, but they both love it. I was hoping that the manga or the anime mentioned in the book would be something that I was familiar with, but really the only thing I'm familiar with so far is Naruto. One quote that really resonated with me was the following, and it's, "During those years, I was never excluded enough to concern teachers, but I was just odd enough that I imagined I was a friendly alien visiting Earth. I knew something about me was different, and I felt like that in school sometimes. No one ever bullied me, but I was always a little bit different, and I think a lot of people can connect to that. I think that teens can connect to this by watching a person grow up and try to deal with all of these feelings and emotions and strife during high school. And I think that you could do some great library programming with this by combining it with some books about adoption, maybe trying to find other books about people who experience adoption. Not in a way to make it sound negative, but the fact that just because someone has been adopted, it doesn't mean that their life is wonderful and perfect. There's actually studies that show that there's trauma associated with adoption. So that might be something interesting to maybe look at with a social worker, maybe do a program with a social worker about adoption, or just do a display on more books about this story, because you might have more people who are adopted in your community than you might expect. And that was my really quick review of Monstrous, a graphic novel memoir by Sarah Meyer.